Bir Tawil. An 1899 treaty says Bir Tawil is the property of Sudan and, in return, awards Egypt a resource-rich piece of land called Halaib. However, a 1902 treaty gives Halaib to Sudan and Bir Tawil to Egypt. Both countries want Halaib and only recognize the treaty that awards Halaib to themselves. To this day, neither will claim Bir Tawil. Doing so would mean they recognize the other country's claim to Halaib.
And materialistic-oriented society is a false society. Our society will go down in history as the lowest development in man. We have the brains, the know-how, the technology, and the feasibility to build an entirely new civilization.
This presentation is a feasible plan for social change that works toward a peaceful and sustainable global civilization where human beings, technology, and nature coexist.
And materialistic-oriented society is a false society. Our society will go down in history as the lowest development in man. We have the brains, the know-how, the technology, and the feasibility to build an entirely new civilization.
The 1929 Great Depression. During this time, I realized the Earth was still the same place. Manufacturing plants were still intact, and resources were still there, but people didn't have the money to buy the products. I felt the rules of the game we play by were obsolete and insufficient. Misery, suffering, and war provided the incentive for my life's work. I was also motivated by the seeming incompetence of governments, the academic world, and the lack of solutions offered by science. I realized instead of working with individuals, a more effective method would be to redesign the culture. This began a lifelong quest to finding solutions to the many problems that we have today.
This presentation is a feasible plan for social change that works toward a peaceful and sustainable global civilization where human beings, technology, and nature coexist. It outlines an alternative to strive for, where human rights are not only paper proclamations, but a way of life. None of the world's economic systems, fascism, or the free enterprise system have eliminated the problems of elitism, nationalism, racism, and most of all, scarcity. These are all based primarily on economic disparity. War is not the only form of violence imposed upon people. There is also hunger, poverty, homelessness, and unemployment. The acceptance of these conditions as expressive of human nature is a myth used to keep things as they are.
Genetics has nothing to do with greed, business, race prejudice. All of the operant systems in any society are part of your education, the books you read, the role models you follow, and the people you admire. The genes have nothing to do except with the color of your eyes, the shape of your nose, perhaps inherited features. The genes do not control values. Even if you're born with a much better brain than another person, meaning better receptors, the quality of the tissue is better.
Today, more than half our population lives in cities that are polluted, dangerous, and waste energy.
What we have to do is design a city as a living system, as an organism, as a university. That all of the cities of the future will be university cities that grow, that continue to exchange ideas. The city will have a built-in transportation system, so there are no accidents and no unthought out areas of technology. Medicine, botany, agriculture, the total system. One planning system.
It is actually better to build newer cities from the ground up than to restore and maintain old ones. When money is used to regulate and distribute resources for profit, and people and nations are out for themselves, they will seek advantage at any cost. They do this by maintaining a competitive edge, or through military intervention. War represents the supreme failure of nations to resolve their differences. From a strictly pragmatic standpoint, it is the most inefficient waste of lives and resources ever conceived.
Most wars are for the control of resources and maintaining your position of differential advantage. They're not based on the dignity of man, they're not based on elevating human beings. It might elevate the human beings in the country that's the victor. It might do that. But as far as the rest of the world goes, the price is enormous.
This crude and violent attempt to resolve international differences takes on even more ominous overtones with the advent of computerized nuclear delivery systems and deadly biological and chemical weapons. Yet it is a windfall money-making opportunity for those who profit by the military-industrial complex. If the profit were taken out of wars, do you really believe we would have them?
If they draft you into the army to serve this country, to put up your life for this country, they should draft all the warriors. Every cannon maker, machine gun maker, automobiles, jeeps, warships, all drafted, so on the same basis of pay as the army. Then it's real. But if you make millions selling warships, machine guns to the army, then it's corrupt. I would, if I had my way, if we had millions of men in the army, I'd send them to school to become problem solvers, how to get along with other nations. That's what we have to, not kill. And soldiers are just killing machines. They're trained to kill. I would train them to be able to go to Mexico and bridge the difference, and go to the Arab world, see if they can bridge the difference. So bring them all together, all the nations.
This new lifestyle, while providing leisure and recreation, would also enhance knowledge and creativity for everyone. The measure of success would be the fulfillment of one's personal interests, rather than the acquisition of wealth and self-centered goals. By using these sources of energy, we could power the Earth on clean energy and enable all people to enjoy a very high standard of living for thousands of years to come. There is no need for the use of polluting hydrocarbons any longer. Pollution will be a thing of the past.
We recycle it, update it, make it better. Take the same materials of an old car, weighs just as much as a new car, so there are no old cars.
We are now at a time when decisions must be made if we wish to evolve from our present culture of scarcity, waste, and environmental destruction value system appropriate to the direction and aims of the new innovative approach. With education and resources made available, there would be no limit to the human potential. Everyone will have the freedom to pursue whatever constructive field of endeavor he or she chooses without the economic limitations that we face today. To a sustainable society of ecological concern and abundance. A nation without a vision of what the future can be is bound to repeat past errors over and over again.
I just received some gallium. See it down there? It's solid metal. So maybe you'll hear my microwave in the background. I'm heating up some water. I'm going to try to dunk this in and get it to melt. Stay tuned. Okay, this was boiling a second ago. Gallium's boiling point is only, melting point is only about 85 degrees. Just need to clean off. Melted yet though. Bizarre stuff, and it's probably staining my